Block 1. Unveiling Project Chimera. The Whispers Begin. Welcome, truth seekers, to another journey into the world's most guarded secrets. Today, we're not just knocking on the door of the unknown, we're kicking it wide open. We're venturing deep into the shadowy corridors of military research to a place where science fiction bleeds into terrifying reality. Prepare to pull back the curtain on a topic so controversial, so chilling, it sounds like it's been ripped straight from a blockbuster script. Project Chimera. For years, whispers have circulated through the deepest corners of the internet, on encrypted message boards, and in hushed conversations between disillusioned insiders. These aren't your typical conspiracy theories about lights in the sky or hidden symbols on currency. This is something far more visceral, more personal. The claim is as simple as it is horrifying, that a top-secret Pentagon initiative is underway, an initiative whose goal is not to build a better jet or a smarter bomb, but to fundamentally re-engineer the human body. The objective? To transform living, breathing human beings, specifically elite athletes, into the ultimate weapons. Let that sink in. We're not talking about advanced body armor or next-generation rifles. We're talking about weaponizing flesh and bone. The very name, Chimera, is a chillingly perfect choice. In Greek mythology, the Chimera was a monstrous fire-breathing hybrid, a creature composed of the parts of multiple animals. This project, according to the lore surrounding it, aims to create a new kind of human hybrid, one that fuses the pinnacle of natural human ability with the cutting edge of biochemical enhancement, genetic engineering, and psychological conditioning. It's about creating a soldier who is more than a soldier, an athlete who is more than an athlete, a living weapon. But why athletes? Why not soldiers who are already part of the system? The logic, as proponents of this theory lay it out, is both brilliant and deeply disturbing. Elite athletes represent the absolute peak of human potential. They are genetic anomalies, individuals who have already won the lottery of biology. Think about it. A world-class marathon runner possesses an aerobic capacity that would seem superhuman to the average person. A champion powerlifter has a muscular density and strength that defy belief. A gymnast combines agility, proprioception, and a pain threshold that is simply off the charts. These individuals are the perfect raw material. They already have the discipline, the drive, and the physical foundation. They've spent their entire lives pushing their bodies to the absolute limit. Project Chimera, the theory goes, simply asks, what happens if we push that limit? The whispers of this program didn't just appear out of thin air. They are often traced back to echoes of Cold War-era programs, projects like MKUltra, where the lines of ethics were not just blurred but erased entirely in the name of national security. Could Project Chimera be the spiritual successor to these dark experiments, shifting the focus from mind control to total physiological domination? The modern context makes it even more plausible. We live in an age where DARPA, the Pentagon's own advanced research agency, is openly working on projects that sound like science fiction, exoskeletons that grant soldiers superhuman strength, brain-computer interfaces that could allow pilots to fly jets with their minds, and biological technologies to increase resilience on the battlefield. Is it truly such a leap to imagine a clandestine program that takes these concepts to their most extreme and terrifying conclusion? A program that internalizes the technology, making the human being the hardware itself? This is the central question we must confront. We see our heroes on the field, on the track, in the arena, and we admire their dedication and skill. We celebrate them as paragons of human achievement. But could that very achievement make them targets? Could their peak physical conditioning put them on a short list for a program they know nothing about? A program that promises to make them stronger, faster, and better, but at the cost of their own humanity. As we prepare to dive into the alleged evidence, we must keep this unsettling possibility at the forefront of our minds. We are setting the stage for an incredible claim, one that, if true, would redefine not just the nature of warfare, but the very definition of what it means to be human.
Block 2. The alleged evidence and the ethical nightmare. Now that we've set the stage and introduced the terrifying concept of Project Chimera, let's move from the what to the how. How could such a program exist in secret, and what breadcrumbs have led investigators to believe it's more than just a dark fantasy? It's time to delve into the so-called evidence. It's crucial to state up front, there is no smoking gun, no official confirmation. What exists is a mosaic of unverified claims, anomalous data points, and whistleblower testimonies that, when pieced together, paint an incredibly disturbing picture. Proponents often point to a handful of supposedly leaked documents that have surfaced on secure networks over the years. These are not clear-cut manuals, but rather cryptic, heavily redacted files. Imagine a document titled Phase 3 Biometric Augmentation Trials, Subject Epsilon, filled with medical jargon and performance metrics that seem impossible. It might detail a subject's resting heart rate dropping to an inhuman 25 beats per minute, or a 500% increase in oxygen saturation under extreme duress. The documents mention code-named pharmacological agents like serum C7 or hemocybin with no known chemical makeup. While skeptics rightly dismiss these as elaborate forgeries, others argue their complexity and consistency suggest a common hidden source. Then there are the eyewitness accounts. These are stories from individuals claiming to be former lab technicians, security personnel, or medical staff who were horrified by what they saw. One of the most famous accounts, from an anonymous poster claiming to be a former guard at a black site in the Nevada desert, describes seeing subjects who could heal from deep lacerations in minutes. He spoke of training rooms where individuals performed feats of strength and agility that defied the laws of physics, and of the emptiness in their eyes, a chilling lack of emotion. These stories, though impossible to verify, add a human narrative element to the theory, transforming it from an abstract concept into a visceral horror story. But how would this even be possible? The speculated methods are a cocktail of cutting-edge science and ethical depravity. The first, and perhaps most critical, is genetic manipulation. Think of your DNA as the fundamental operating system for your body. Proponents believe Chimera uses technologies far beyond what is publicly known, perhaps an advanced form of CRISPR, to rewrite this code. They wouldn't just be correcting defects, they'd be installing upgrades. They could theoretically switch off the myostatin gene, which limits muscle growth, leading to explosive strength. They could enhance genes responsible for red blood cell production, creating a natural blood doping effect for limitless endurance. This biological re-engineering would be supplemented by advanced pharmacological enhancement. This goes far beyond simple steroids. We're talking about custom-designed synthetic hormones that regulate adrenaline and cortisol, eliminating fear and fatigue. Nootropic cocktails designed to accelerate learning and tactical decision-making to superhuman speeds. Nanobots flowing through the bloodstream, repairing tissue on a cellular level in real time. The goal is a body that is self-regulating, self-repairing, and constantly operating at a level far beyond its natural state. Yet, the most terrifying aspect isn't what's done to the body, but what's done to the mind. The final piece of the puzzle is psychological conditioning of the most extreme kind. To control a living weapon, you must control its will. This could involve memory alteration to erase their past life, loyalty programming to ensure absolute obedience, and desensitization protocols to remove any moral or emotional hesitation in combat. The athlete, the individual, is buried, and the asset is born. This leads us directly into the heart of the ethical abyss. If such a program were real, it would represent a moral failure of catastrophic proportions. What is the legal status of a Chimera asset? Are they still a citizen with rights, or have they become government property? What happens when their mission is over? Can you decommission a human being? Can they ever be reintegrated into society, or are they a permanent liability destined to be disposed of when they are no longer useful? The real danger might not be the existence of a single secret project, but our relentless drive to turn human beings into tools, stripping away their humanity in the name of power. What do you think is the most terrifying aspect of a program like Project Chimera? The physical transformation or the psychological control? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more deep dives, and we'll see you in the shadows.